Crazy. She don't play.
Cars can be replaced.
All this man back here.
Land, they're not making anymore. Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Wahala. My name is Tweneboah, and today's episode of Weekly Wahala, we're going to be talking about Aris Fletcher buying MoneyBagg Yo 28.8 acres of land for his birthday. So about a week ago, MoneyBagg Yo, who's a rapper, actually spent his birthday, and he calls it Bag Day, which I think is actually really cool because his name is MoneyBagg, so he calls his birthday like Bag Day. So everything was okay until Aris Fletcher posted on her Instagram, and also MoneyBagg Yo put on his Instagram story that Ari had actually gifted him 28.8 acres of land for his birthday in Memphis. So many people on social media and of course on Twitter had their opinions, and some people were saying that some women were saying that they wouldn't ever do that because they feel like their men don't deserve it, or they hope that this doesn't become a trend. Also, obviously some men were really, cheering on Ari, and were saying that, they would really hope that this becomes a new thing and that women buy and gift men land. Another problem. So, even Dream Doll, who's a rapper, she also came out and sort of talked about it, and she said she hopes that it's not a trend and all these guys don't start asking women for land and I want land and buy me land and sort of things like that.
Okay, this is what we're not gonna sit here and do. Y'all gonna be asking for land, okay? Y'all can barely pay the rent over here talking about land.
Originally, it was such a small thing, and it's something that some of these topics that go and pass. But what happened was, because it created quite a lot of buzz, and quite a lot of people aren't really doing this a lot, and it was pretty big as well, because 28.8 acres is no joke. It went on The Real, and the women of The Real, Lonnie Love, Ginny Mai, Garcelle, and Adrian by alone. So yeah, just because I've not watched The Real in a while. So basically they had a little conversation about it, and they talked about their whether or not they would sort of buy land for their men. Like I said, I've not really watched The Real ever since Tamar Braxton left. Not because not out of any shade or anything like that, but I remember I went through a phase where when it was relatively new, and I thought, oh, this is a new program, it seems very interesting. So I did tune in a couple of times, and I remember one week I binge watched a lot of episodes, and then obviously there was this whole buzz when Tamar left, and I kind of went off it. But so far I don't really think that anybody said anything drastic, but it was Garcelle's comment that really really created a storm.
Last season, Lonnie and I were talking about don't act married if you're not married. This is acting married.
So you've seen the video. Garcelle sort of said that in her opinion that this gift was something that married people do.
Ah! You slapped me, you monkey! Marry me.
I sort of understand it from a perspective that this is pretty much a big gift, but for me, I'm that kind of person who believes that if you're going to gift a gift to somebody, you give it from the kindness of your heart. You give them because you want to, and not because you expect something back. Because I feel like the misconception is that, oh well, if Ari was married to MoneyBagg and she had kids by him as well, and she gifted him 28.8 acres of land, it would mean that if MoneyBagg dies or something, it would mean that Ari's kids will benefit from it. But I'm thinking it's a gift. I didn't think she wasn't really thinking in her mind, well, let me get him 28.8 acres of land so that my kids or somewhere down the line I would benefit off it. Because if she wanted to do that, she would have bought herself her own land as opposed to gifting it. And also one of the things that Garcelle said was that she would feel like if a man gifted some land to her, she'd feel obligated that she had to stay with him. But I'm sort of saying why would you want to stay with a guy that you don't like? And I don't feel like this situation pertains to Ari and MoneyBagg, because it seems as though they're crazy about each other and they really like each other. So and if anything happens, they've both gifted each other gifts, which I'll get into a little bit later in the video. But I don't really see, Garcelle's, I know what I really keep thinking about is that somebody actually called, instead of, somebody said, oh, you know how the show is called The Real? Somebody said The Real Aunties, and I've never stopped thinking about this comment. To this day, it makes me chuckle because they have like this auntie mentality of like, I want to do this, and in my day, and da 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 da. So anyway, so of course, Ari came out and she tweeted when the real interview came out. Ari saw it and she tweeted, you don't know what half the things that he does for me mentally and financially. I've never felt so safe, loved and spoiled by a person. He loves me and my son so much. Focus on getting your own land and husband. And of course, MoneyBagg came out and defended his woman and said, not fancy hating on my gifts. Basically, I think Garcelle used to be in a show with Jamie Foxx, and the character that she played was Fancy. I don't know, I don't really know much about Garcelle, but and he sort of took a picture of like the land that Ari bought him, and he said, oh, this is mine, where is yours? And that love is love, mind your business. So in my opinion, I really feel like it was a gift. And we're so used to seeing rappers, like it's so normalized that rappers for their birthday get jewelry and ice and cars. And funny enough, actually, MoneyBagg took a picture when it was his birthday to sort of celebrate, and he brought out all the cars that he owned. He has a big car collection. He brought out all his cars and he said, happy. I think he captioned it something to do with, I used to get S on my report card, and now like I'm a rapper or something like that, or now I'm big. So I feel like, when you saw that picture, I feel like people would have complained anyway, because if Ari would have bought him like the latest luxury car, people would have been like, oh, Ari, you've got MoneyBagg has got like 8, 9 cars. Why make it a 10? And for me personally, I've never been a fan of pocket watching. Like, I find it really annoying when somebody who has money comes out and takes a picture and says, okay, I bought the latest Ferrari or the latest car, the latest jewelry with my money, and then people in the comment will be like, oh, you should have bought land. And then if you buy land, then it's, oh, you should have bought this. And it's like, for me, my opinion is, why don't you go and get your hard-earned money and then go get your land, or go get your house, or go get whatever you want to get. Like, stop being, I hate how all of a sudden we turn into financial advisors and we're all like, oh, I would do this with this money, and I feel like it is subconscious, so I don't really want to be too hard on people, but it's too annoying. Like, if you've got really nothing nice, I'm not really like that to say, oh, well, I could have done this with this person's money. I don't have that money, and maybe when I get that money, then I'll live accordingly and I'll do what I would do. But apart from that, I don't really want to judge like what people do with their money, if you get what I'm saying. So, and even what's so funny is that Yo Gotti, who's another rapper, he gifted MoneyBagg a Rolex and $1.5 million. I feel like Ari sort of thought of it like a really thoughtful gift, that like even when he dies, or if he's no longer here, it's something that his name and his family and will be able to like, he's put a stamp on, like, when he's no longer here, his presence will still be here technically, if you get what I mean, because he's gonna, maybe he might build houses with that land, he might build a business, whatever, but it's for him to decide. And I feel like it's such a thoughtful gift. And even speaking of Yo Gotti, he actually made like waves because he came out and he announced that he's sort of bought a new football team. Well, I say football, some people say soccer if you're from America, but like, he owns a team called DC United. And I feel like that's brilliant, because to be quite fair, in my opinion, the athletic industry, like, football, even like the NFL, NBA, they're really dominated by black men, and I do feel like more black people should, you know, when they have the money, should buy sports teams so that these athletes feel safer and they create their own community. So that's how I feel, and I feel like, you know, this is why I sort of agree. I like what Ari did, because, you know, MoneyBagg Yo is that's creating generational wealth. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like it's really refreshing seeing that, like, this is the new age, and we sort of come out and say, oh well, the black community, we need to have our own, and then when we do, then it's, oh well, I wouldn't do that, or you need to be married before you buy a man, something like that. And I don't really understand. And even Ari, she had her birthday quite a while ago, and I think MoneyBagg Yo gifted her a Rolls Royce Cullinan. Like, bruh, like, that car is beautiful. And also I think 5 or 4 Birkins or something, like he lined them up.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
It's in the back behind the other truck.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, y'all know I sound like I'm having an orgasm right now, but I just cannot believe this. Look at the pink detail on my car. Like, oh my god. Oh my god.
And I thought that was like, that's something that she likes. I mean, I know that people say that Birkins are like, somehow you can gain, like, over time they never reduce in their price or something like that. Apparently, like, Birkins are supposed to be good investments, so I sort of understand, like, maybe why he would get her 4 or 5 Birkins, not only just as a style, but over time they never, their value never decreases. But I feel like I feel like gifts are just gifts. Like, just let people gift what they want to gift. I'm very confused as to why this has caused a whole lot of wahala, and it's made, I know that they're real, that's sort of what they do, but I don't really like the whole judgment, and especially when it was coming from a good place. Like, and we normally know that people like Ari and MoneyBagg, they're so used to low vibrational stuff, and so the day that they do something so refreshing, like, people still want to hate, which is something that I don't understand. So yeah, that's pretty much my opinion. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. Do you feel like there should be something that should be celebrated more? I don't feel like people should just be getting random land for random people. I don't feel like that should be how it works. But I do think that more people of a wealth status should be sort of making, like, I just want to see the black community do better, and I feel like this is a good way. And shout out to I've seen on my note, shout out to B with a T on YouTube. She's a YouTuber, and funnily enough, she actually calculated, I was watching her breakdown of this, and she actually calculated how much, like, Ari would have spent, like, in an estimation, and it was around like $400,000. And so relatively, if Ari would have bought MoneyBagg Yo like, say, like a Rolls Royce, like, I don't really know the prices of cars and stuff like that, I'm not gonna act like, but if Ari would have bought MoneyBagg a designer, like a luxury vehicle or something designer, for that amount of money, it would have been like a wasted. Because even if you watch the video, somebody said, oh, cars and these bags and stuff like that come and go, but this is gonna stay forever, and I agree with that.
Cars can be replaced.
Oh, this man back here.
And they're not making any more of it. So
It's crazy.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you feel like it's something that we should celebrate more? Do you think that people should pocket watch? Let me know what you think. See you in the next video. Bye. This is your Wahala video of the week.